People are the biggest asset for any business. We know that some entrepreneurs value capital, which is their money that they put into their businesses, but others do value people. Tonight we speak to an entrepreneur who deals in shoemaking and he subscribes to that same notion.
My name is Yora Matamize. I'm the director and founder of Jora Shoes Company here in Kampala, where we do manufacture leather shoes and most especially the leather school shoes. Leather belts, we also make safety shoes and industrial boots for those workers in the construction companies and in the factories. What pushed me into this was the poverty, because I had a diploma in secondary education, but I failed to get a job anywhere. Of course, I started by repairing. When I was in school, I needed just little money, 500 shillings, 100 shillings to buy a thread and a needle to do the stitching. Then, of course, when I finished school and I had no job, then I had to figure out how could I do it. So I identified those who were making shoes, and they would lend me some of like the shoe lasts, and they would help me somehow until I gathered myself. Actually, my first machine to buy was that one there in the corner, but I had to buy it just because someone had given me a load of shoes and I didn't have where to begin. So I requested him to give me a deposit so that I'm able to begin. After that, then I started gathering for more orders from schools, from friends, and from that, I was able to keep on adding a few machines. But of course, one most important thing was the money I would get, I would not use it for my personal things. I had to re-inject it back. Whenever I would get 200,000, I would make sure that it buys something to add on to the business. And also, I made sure that I trained my own workers who would help me to carry on this. Of course, one most important thing was I had to identify where the need was. I realized most children in rural areas and even in urban centers, most of them were walking barefooted to school. And I identified that as a need in the community. So I had to approach the schools I work with, and I'm like, hey, I can make for your children shoes. And they were like, wow, that is very important. We do have challenges, and one of them has been the employee turnover, because at first we struggled getting workers who could support us. But after we started training our own youth, we overcome that. Then another one, of course, is the raw material supply, because sometimes you find they have run out of the country. You find there are no leather, we don't have soles, and you have got to be forced to get them from outside. And another challenge has been really capital, whereby getting affordable capital to invest and to make sure that you expand has been a challenge. So we have to depend entirely on the little profits that we get, we save and reinject back to be able to reach here. What makes us different from others is, number one, we don't compromise quality. There is a lot of leather on the market which can be used to make shoes, but our leather is different. We don't just use any leather we find on the market. So meaning that when we give a customer a guarantee that we are giving you quality leather, it's indeed quality leather. And of course also making sure that my workers are motivated, they are paid on time, none of them goes hungry, he gets his pay whenever it is there. And also we had to make sure that, because most shoes on the market have the same design, so for us we had to make our own unique design which is different from the rest, so that wherever we are, whoever buys our shoes will be able to identify this is Jora shoes. Then of course, when you take our shoes and maybe you reach it is big size, for us in our business, we don't have this analogy of goods once sold are not returnable. You reach there and you find it is not fitting the child, you bring it back. We exchange it for free. Money for business, we don't use it for other personal things. And that is what has kept us on edge. The money we generate from the business, we put it back in the business. We hope to be producing per day over 1,000 pairs. What we look forward to doing is getting more machinery, better than these ones, and we are able to produce extensively a number of shoes and be able to serve our country so that our people don't walk barefooted.
Now that the economy is fully open, the government of Uganda has raised a line of finance in collaboration with commercial banks. Tonight we speak to one of the participatory banks to understand what you need to access that money.
At Centenary Bank, we have participated and we are offering the small business recovery facilities. These are amounts that are ranging between 10 million to 100 million, and for the period up to 4 years, but with a grace period of 1 year. Then, of course, those that are qualifying to take out these facilities should be having a turnover between 10 million and 100 million. They should be employing people between 5 to 49. They should be those businesses that have been distressed by COVID-19. But however, they should have also been in place before the lockdown came in place. These are businesses that were available, that were existent before the lockdowns and have thus been affected by the lockdown and the resultant economic slowdown. All the sectors can come and then they will be appraised as such. So it is open as long as this business was existent at a time when we went into COVID-19 lockdowns.
Those who can testify in a new car, okay, will tell you those peace of mind in several forms, and I'll get to some of the things we need to unpack. Number one, each of the new cars we sell come with 3 years, 100,000 kilometers of warranty. In other words, for 3 years, you are not debating whether this car will last or not. I mean, am I on my own or not? That's not an issue. Okay. The second one is, over and above, the car comes with 2 years of service, 2 years and 50,000 kilometers, free service, whichever comes first. So again, over and above, you don't have to deal with any defects on the car, free service covered within the car. That is the peace of mind we are talking about. And again, when I look at the discussion about used and new, it's not that Ugandans don't want to acquire new cars. It's circumstances such as this that we're solving that address that. When I talk of peace of mind, I mean, even when we're talking of 3 years warranty, I mean, the stories we'll get from our unplanned expenses, based on some of the stories your mechanic will tell you. But part of the things we're looking for, so peace of mind comes in terms of the warranty the car comes with, the 2 years of service that we're talking about, but also the access to the latest in terms of technology, both in safety and comfort for the consumer. Okay? Safety means when you're carrying your family in the car, what does safety mean to you? When you need to get in time for that appointment, are you, for lack of a better word, relying on the mercies of God with your brakes and the like? So latest technology being more affordable, and that is where the two come in hand.
Well, thank you for being part of the show. That brings us to the end of this edition of Money and Markets. I've been your host, Charles Boji.
And I'm Shamim K. Matovo.
Until next time, have a good evening.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.